What is personal branding and how do you build your personal brand? Well, I'll tell you right now. It's connecting to your customer with personal story. I'm Deborah Atkinson. You're listening to Fitness Marketing Mastery, where I share marketing and sales strategies for fitness and health coaches that are easy, enjoyable, even fun, so that you can not just build a business, but you can build a life that you love, giving you some freedom, the time, the energy, and the money to spend the way you want to with the people you want to. And today, I'm talking about personal branding. So if you're a little bit more of an introvert, I get you. If you're like, I don't want to share that, I don't want them to really know me, I'm going to ask you to rethink that just a little bit. And I want you to be careful. So if you do this personal branding, if you really buy into it, you can't put on a persona. It's all about being authentic and what's going to work for marketing going forward. And this started to emerge probably 2 or 3 years ago before the pandemic. We were talking about it, which is like a black hole, but it's about being true, authentic, and transparent. So it's not being outwardly perfect, Botoxing your face within an inch of its life and always having makeup on necessarily. Now, for some, that is their personal brand. They actually have those suckers tattooed on and never miss an eyebrow. But for others of us, I don't know about you, but I don't put on makeup to go to the gym to work out myself. I know some people do, but I'd prefer not to. I'd prefer to sweat, be messy, and I go for myself, not for people to look at me. And, when I go to get out of the house because this is where I record my videos for work, for my audience, my membership. So, think about who you are really all the time. And, I liken it to this. I can tell you 2 experiences where, and it always floors me, but these 2 stand out because I was so not prepared. So one, I was flying to the World Senior Games in St. George, Utah from Denver. So I was still living in Boulder, and I was going to be gone for the next 4 days, and I don't know what it was, but that it hit the fan in the morning and I had more to do than I had planned on. And so here I am. I didn't actually get a workout in, but I'm prepared to work out. I had no makeup on, no nothing, hadn't showered, washed my hair. So I'm in tights and, very athletic looking. And I know a lot of people fly that way, but usually I don't. I usually like to shower and actually look a little bit better than the majority of the people flying. And I think you get better service, but that's just me. So I'm in line. It's just a busy day. And I'm like, who's going to know me? It's less than an hour flight. No big deal. Okay, well, I'm standing in line to board. You've already gone through the gate, and I'm like 6 or 8 people from actually stepping onto the plane. And some woman turns around and she's like, oh my gosh, I know a woman who looks just like you. She has this business like Flipping 50. I'm just like, what do I do here, right? And so I'm just like, yep, I'm her. And, I look a mess. I had a visor on. I mean, that's how bad my hair looked. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Of course, of all days today. I just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, right? And then I was sitting in the very front row. I think I booked my flight last. So I'm sitting in the front row where there's nothing else ahead of you. And you can't put what I've learned is you can't put your laptop under the seat. You have to put it above, and which is I wanted to work, right? But so she comes, she's sitting in the back of a plane. She boarded before me and then comes running to the front of the plane and says, oh, can I get a selfie? I just have to get a selfie with you. And the guy I'm sitting next to, he was just polite and we had exchanged niceties. And And, like, who are you and where are you from? Are you going for business or going for pleasure? This is just the plain talk, right? And then I sit back down and he goes, "You're famous. You were holding back on me." It was just like, okay, thank you. Mhm. So that's one. The other one happened about 2 weeks ago. Same thing. I am on a late Sunday afternoon. I have planned on like going early for a workout or a walk. Got none of it done. I got sucked into some things that just need to be done at the end of the year, the beginning of the year, and work wise catching up. And I think I got a quick workout in, but not a shower. And I had come from the gym, and again, a visor and no shower, no makeup. And I'm in line at Walgreens to get a prescription refilled. And someone looks at me and says, "Do you have a website?" And I'm like, "No, really? Are you kidding me?" So my authentic, transparent brand, and I have done this, it didn't take these two instances. I go on and I do it, no makeup. And I tell him, "Look, this is not glamour shots. This is me in my kitchen. The sun just came up. I'm still in my pajamas. But I think this is important enough, more important than me going to put on mascara." Okay. So I'm going to give you this message just like this. That's me. That's my authentic brand. And I show my family. I've talked about tragedies that have happened with my family. I've talked about my emotions. And I do that because the women that I work with are going through those kinds of things. I am just the mirror for much of what happens for our audience. And that's part of my authentic and transparent persona. It's the real thing. It just isn't a persona. They see it all. They see me when I'm on stage and made up, but 90% of the time, that's not what's happening. So I want you to know, who are you all the time, so it's easy. And you want to talk about a mix of personal and professional. So, you're talking about, maybe you're talking like I am, you're talking about hormones. Maybe you talk about fasting, and maybe you talk about kettlebells or kettlebell exercises. But building relationships is a little bit different. So if you and I were talking about hormones, that's not necessarily all that personal. If we were talking about fasting, again, not so personal, and kettlebells or exercises, or whether you do or you don't like them, not so personal. But when we're starting to talk about building relationships, in your own environment, or showing your personality in your home, showing what you do with your family, your favorite pastime, not working, can't be working. I know we love our jobs when we're in fitness and health, but you've got to show, what else do you do? Where's your balance come from? You share in the moment, in real life, behind the scenes of you, that lets people know you and love you in a way that they want to do business with you instead of doing business with Peloton or Planet Fitness, depending on whether you're a brick and mortar or you're an online business. Some ideas to help you build your personal brand. How do you do this? And you may be out there wondering, okay, do I have an Instagram account that is your name and that is also your business brand? You could. Some people do. Many do. I have become and been the face and the spokesperson in the Flipping 50 brand. At some point in my future, I too will stop and I will start doing personal brand, because at some point I may want to sell Flipping 50 to someone else. And if it's me behind the scenes, but you'll notice I'm not in the logo, and I'm not the logo on the protein or the fiber products that I sell, but I am the face of the brand, the CEO and the founder. And for now, I am okay with that. And I don't do a lot of posting from Deborah Atkinson because it doesn't exist, right? Because part of that is a time thing. And I know I could start it and I might do it badly, or then start dropping balls elsewhere. My choice right now is not to add that. But If you're just starting out and you have the bandwidth to do it, I would recommend doing both because I think this is the wave of the future. So, some ideas for you to build your personal brand. Share behind the scenes with you, say on the weekend. Like, what do you do for fun on the weekends? Maybe do you go to a pro game with your family? Do you go golfing? Are you grilling? If your family is open to it, share pictures or videos of them. If they're not, there are ways to show your family without showing them. Like you're out on a hike with the family, show them from the back, from a distance, if that makes them feel more comfortable, or show silhouettes of you all at the movies. I'm sure that'll get you in trouble if you're irritating other people taking pictures, but show it in a way that they're in it, but you don't have to necessarily feature them. So just some ideas there. Try a day in the life, hour by hour, on your stories. I actually just did this while we're releasing. I did it today. That's why it's probably hot on my mind. So I did it in stories in Instagram. I could also go back and do that in stories in Facebook, but hour by hour. What happens on Instagram is then for those people who already follow you, it moves you up. They see you again. You're top of mind. And that can go a ways to creating relationships. Like every hour I got up and I showed first thing first, like here's how Sunday starts, big glass of water. And I said what I put in my water in the morning. So there was more to it. And I was also then in doing that, talking about some of the products that I use myself and love. Then it was, what I drink instead of coffee. And that also was something like, here's what I do and here's why I'm doing that. And then it was like, what's my workout going to be? What am I working on today? So all kinds of things, from the R&R that I did at the pool, picture of me in the sun, so many things. But even though you may think, oh my gosh, really? But yes, really, hour by hour, they kind of like to know what's a day in the life of you like on a Sunday. So try sharing that kind of thing. Give someone a tour of your home via video or pictures, doesn't really matter. Your home office, your home gym, or your kitchen, and then go through products that you really like I couldn't live without this, couldn't live without this. And that will give you content that, some of us just like, okay, great, now I've got content for a couple of weeks. But it also is letting people in, letting them see what is it like inside of your house. Keep personal touches in. This is another one where you've got to be transparent. My house, I don't know about yours, is not spick and span all the time. There's some clutter around here every time, so I show my desk every once in a while. I don't show it close up. Trust me, that would scare people away. But I let them see the desktop on my computer sometimes. And that was they're like, whoa, wait, I thought mine was bad. Yeah. So those kinds of things help people know you. Don't let perfection trickle into everything unless that is you, sun up to sundown. That's always made up. Your home is perfect. Give me some tips, please. Okay. This is why people buy from one brand versus another. The real reason to build your personal brand and not just a work brand is this: people buy from people. Like they have a clerk that they look for at a certain grocery store that they might go out of their way for because they feel more comfortable at that one than a different one. They return to the small hardware store for that personal touch, even when there's Amazon where you could get the same thing for less delivered to your door by today or tomorrow. Likewise with any product. And yes, they've got access to the whole world for fitness coaches or health coaches. But if you are local, they like that fact and they connect with you because of it. The real reason not to have you and your brand be the same is so that you can at some point hire, you can sell someday easier than if it's you and your name always and only in images. Do you have thoughts on this one? I'd love to hear it. What do you think about personal brand? Have you been building it? Have you been maybe blurring the brand and the business? And do you need to make sure that you clearly are, this is a day I'm sharing my personal brand versus this is a day I'm talking about my business? So I would think very heavily about when you teach concepts and methods and systems versus when you're talking about you personally and what you do, and get distinct and purposeful when you're doing those, because that may really help you grow and take off where you've been struggling, even with social media. So, are you already building your personal brand, or do you have separate fitness and personal brands? I'd love to know it. Tell me in the show notes at fitnessmarketingmastery.com. Build your personal brand. So I'm going to put a link to some of the resources that we have behind the scenes, kind of as a, my big umbrella brand is called Voice for Fitness, but under that we have Flipping 50 for our consumers, as well as for fitness pros who do the menopause fitness specialist course created by Flipping 50. And at Fitness Marketing Mastery, I help you actually get the word out in your words that resonate with them. And we'll put some links to those, as well as some links to other shows that you might like. Okay, there you have it. Now it's your turn. Leave me some notes, comments, questions. I love to hear from you in the show notes. And don't forget, there's never been a time where they needed us more than now.